We all have been expecting and waiting for this car. Um, it's been a minute. I almost had forgot about the Z, and I was like, is this car even gonna come out? Because I thought it was one of those fake story, like they make blogs. It's really out. You know what? Thank you, miles per hour. This should be a good review, as he always makes great reviews. And this is a nice red paint and fair use. And these videos they're always great. So let's have fun.
I've got the key to this 23 Nissan Z. We are going to take it for a drive, but first, let's check out how it looks on the inside and outside. This is the 7th generation Z car, and Nissan is trying its best to incorporate 53 years of this monoline's history into something that looks still contemporary. So there's a very squared off, hard-edged grille with these gray painted inserts up top, and the whole opening being functional cooling.
That's
New
nice.
Nissan logo.
That's cool.
Raised hood portion.
I like the functional cooling because I feel like that should be always something that a sports car is aiming for.
This one's painted in passion red tricoat. It's a good color, not to my eyes as good as the Sayron blue. Full LED headlights and DRLs are standard.
Yeah, the red is not as great, but I'll take it with some black wheels that I would put on, or gold. Yeah.
With these two semicircles and the whole lens housing, they're trying to pay homage to the S30 generation 240Z, and I think they did a great job. I wasn't so convinced in photos, but in person, yeah, they pull it off. In profile,
They need to make those wheels black, not like, I don't like when they do like, it looks like grayish, like a dark gray or something. No.
performance trims like this one get raised 19-inch forged alloy wheels that are dark gray painted, and they're wrapped in Bridgestone Potenza summer tires, 255 section front and 275s in the rear. That's a wider contact patch in the front than the predecessor. Performance models also have these upgraded red painted 4-piston brakes in the front. They're black door mirrors, this silver trim along the roofline that ends in the Z badge, and then you have these flush metal doors.
Now, the one thing I would say is they should have just did a whole like black on black everything for the trims and everything. I don't feel, what's the point of adding silver or chrome?
Door handles. Stepping back to look at the profile, the latest Z has the same wheelbase and height as the 370, but
Yeah.
the overall length is now 5 inches longer, and I think the overall length helps this look like a more graduated, more mature sports car.
That's
Not so
true.
small and dinky. And I like the silhouette, that hood line shape, the length of it, and the shorter deck lid are all reminiscent of predecessors.
I agree.
I don't even mind the silver accent on the roofline. I thought I would.
Me too. But
At the back, there's a subtle Bodico matching lip spoiler
damn, that looks nice.
and these 300ZX inspired taillights with these
Yeah.
iconic shapes on a black background.
Now that's hard.
The rear view is my favorite on the new Z.
Damn.
It's retro and well executed.
Wow.
There's a black gloss diffuser
I wouldn't
that
mind
jets
getting
out
this.
nicely, and they're integrated hole punch.
I just know there's certain things I'm gonna change, like that muffler. To more performance, like titanium, and then that diffuser, that wing to more carbon fiber probably. The wheels. So a few things that I would have to modify, but that's what comes with building it. It's not even like you're building it really, you're just changing stuff.
Punched circular exhaust ports. Overall, I think the new Z is a sweet blend of old and new, and though the face I wasn't in love with, I've really come around on it the more.
I mean, look at that rear view right there. That's sweet. Yeah, I would get this for sure. Especially with those two 300ZX taillights, because, alright, I would get a 300ZX. That's what I was actually thinking of, but I'm like, nah, I'm just get one of these and then, have fun. Wow, this would be fun. Yeah.
The more I've spent with it. Let's see about the interior. I did do a color and transmission swap. So now we've got the Sayron blue exterior with the automatic gearbox. I think that's how you say Sayron.
Oh, it's the automatic?
Opening up and looking inside. We have a matching blue interior. I love this.
That's hard.
And on performance trims, you get leather bordered seats with suede inserts, 2 stages of seat heating and power adjustability, manual lumbar.
I forget these are only 2-seaters, and I like that.
Z tread plates, aluminum pedals, soft tuck material up high in the door, suede inserts, hard plastics down low and here on the window switch panel, 2 one-touch up-down windows, power adjusting, not power folding door mirrors, Bose sound system on this trim. Your hatch release is here. And when we lift up all the way, we find 6.6 cubic feet of space. And that doesn't sound like a ton, but the design, this huge opening in this flat shelf,
is
nice. Very practical, very useful. There's an additional storage cubby behind each front seat.
It's like, is it big enough for you to put some wheels or some parts that you got to travel with? It seems like it. Wow, I like this car.
Well, yeah, it's a pre-production model, so I don't expect the production to sound like that when you close the door. Sliding in. There's a standard 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster that's reconfigurable. No head-up display. 3 analog dials up here in the dash. We've got your boost, you have your turbine speed, and then your battery. Further down, performance model is getting 9-inch touchscreen infotainment over the standard 8-inch units in the Sport, and they're just sort of reasonable in their response time. The graphics are not that sharp, but they do both have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I like the physical volume knob, physical tuner, and physical button redundancies as well.
Yeah, that needs more update on that interior. Alright, back in the manual.
Fired up.
That was quiet.
They don't want you to know this.
If you use any of these companies, do this now. To be honest, I hadn't. Analog dials blip on. Welcome animation.
Super quiet.
Welcomes. And
that wheel looks like it needs to be thicker.
Twin turbo V6 comes to life. Handbrake down. Press down on the manual selector and then over to the right to pull up your backup camera, which is a pretty low resolution one at that. You do have trajectory lines.
Pretty low resolution. It is. That's why I don't even be really caring for them. But
and we can start.
The Z got a lot of blind spots. I don't know about this one, but yeah.
Wheel crank. Very nice. And how about a horn test?
No.
It's 400 horsepower here, that is for sure. As we get the speed on the highway, let's talk about the powertrain. 3-liter twin turbocharged V6. 400 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque.
So one of their already made engines.
And those are the same output figures, the same engine as the Infiniti Q50 and Q60 Red Sport.
And then, well, yeah, my dad does have a 50 Red Sport, and it's just, I mean, those are just so quick. So this is going to be super quick. Yeah.
but they have made some changes particular to a sports car and what you want to do with it, particularly one that's offered with a manual gearbox. By the way, I like the soundtrack. That's what the Z has kind of always had. It's had a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
To get back to that engine, one of the things that they did is they added a recirculating valve so that typically when you get off throttle with a turbocharged engine, it's going to lose the boost pressure and you will therefore lose the performance, even if it's just for a small interval. But with the recirculating valve, it's feeding back in that air to those turbos, and so they stay spooled, and so you keep
That's cool. That is
pressure.
cool. Wow, so this keeps boost pressure, that while letting off the throttle. That's really, really important. I never knew you actually lost boost pressure. I didn't think about that. Letting off the throttle. Wow, okay. Wow. I'm pretty convinced that I'd already buy this.
They also added a turbo speed sensor, and so whereas normally turbochargers and their components are designed to have like a margin so that the turbo doesn't redline, and yes, a turbocharger can redline. With the speed sensor, it builds in a knowledge of where that margin needs to stay so that the turbos are always spinning at their max healthy speed. So with those two elements, this engine behaves differently than the Q50 and Q60 Red Sport. That and the fact that this car weighs quite a bit less than those cars. It's therefore something of a hot rod. Hello, new Z that's also driving with me. 68 more horsepower than the outgoing 370Z, but 80 more pound-feet of torque is what really makes the difference. This car feels very little like the predecessor. The engine transforms it that much. The peak torque is available from just 1,600 RPM all the way to 5,200 RPM, so it's really hard to find yourself in the wrong gear to get the new Z moving. Right now, I have the rev match downshift function turned on, so I don't need to flip the throttle. When I downshift the gear, it will do that for me. And Nissan should know a thing or two about making this system work well because they introduced it for sports cars on the 370Z. For speed. I've changed up the view, by the way, so we're looking at the tachometer front and center. There's stability at that speed as well, and I think part of that is due to the fact that they added more caster angle to the front tires.
This really has a lot of potential. Wow. You can do so much. You can do so much. Yeah, this has a lot.
You want to go faster. You just do. And what if you need to scrub some of that speed? Well, let's do a test of the brakes here. We'll slow to about 60 before I slam it.
Damn. Good brakes.
Excellent brake pedal feel. Yeah, these upgraded ones on the performance package are legit. Great initial bite. The pedal never gave up. It gives you the confidence. Traction up.
Oh.
And it didn't really let me maintain the slide, unfortunately. I do love how easy it is to turn traction off. They just tap the button once, no pressing and holding, and no finding where the traction control is. You just tap it. But, yeah, it was hard to maintain the slide there. Oh, another Z, also in blue. Put traction back on. As we explore the handling. Once again, I really enjoy the soundtrack here. Another one in red, look at that.
That was clean.
We're just taking over. So they had to switch from the hydraulic rack in the 370Z to an electronic assisted rack for the new Z car. And that can be dooming for feedback, but it's not. Not in the Z. They've done a great job tuning this. Give an excellent sense of grip. The turn-in is quick and precise. Importantly, it is not a steer-by-wire system like the Red Sports from Infiniti. Stability with these Bridgestone summer tires is quite good.
I like it. I just really want to see it with modification so I can hear more. Other than that, this is amazing. I'll buy this easily. I'm buying this. So you should buy this too because it has so much pros and so much modification potential. So why not? Get this thing. And thank you, miles per hour.